We need to go here right now. Cyber and Dragon Soda. I got the Jaden pasta. I'm not an artist, guys, at all. All right, so merch time. One of the best Yu-Gi-Oh artwork things I've seen. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Shadow Realm for the first time in 2025. I hope everyone had a great new year. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys the time I went to the YuGiOh GX 20th anniversary cafe. So if you've been following the channel, you would know that last year in October, I was in Japan for pretty much the entire month. While we were over there, of course, I was doing my usual Yu-Gi-Oh hunting, and this time I was in the Osaka area. If you've never been to Osaka, all of the card stores and like anime stores like that are located in a place called Denden Town, which is in the Nipponbashi area. So me and my wife were just walking around Denden Town one day, doing the usual thing, going card shop to card shop, looking for cool Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. And then out of the corner of my eye, a poster caught my attention just completely randomly. The poster said, YuGiOh Duel Monsters 20th Anniversary Cafe. Instantly, I was just like, what is this? We need to go here right now. So I tried to get a sneak peek of what was inside, but I couldn't really see much. Basically, all I could see was like some really nice artwork scattered all across the walls. So we tried to go in, but there was a sign on front of the store that said entry was via reservation only. It turns out the cafe was run by a company called Collabo Cafe Honpo. They're like the main people that run these cafe collabs, and they collab with a bunch of different animes and IPs throughout the year. So instantly, I'm on the phone on their website trying to make a reservation to this cafe. But on top of the online reservation system, reservations were only being given out on a lottery basis system. So you had to go into a raffle / lottery thing to even be chosen to be given a reservation spot. Now I think the system is put in place for the really popular animes and IPs where the entire cafe is actually getting booked out for the entire kind of collaboration period. Now we were kind of in the early / middle of the collaboration period. I saw it on the 9th of October and the cafe started running from the 3rd of October to the 24th of November. So in total, the collaboration was going to last for almost 2 months. So I clicked through to the next page of the web page and it looks like the YuGiOh GX 20th anniversary collaboration isn't sold out at all. So instead of a lottery system for this one, they were giving out tickets on a first come first serve basis, which was perfect. So a couple clicks later and my wife and I were booked in to go to the YuGiOh GX 20th anniversary cafe in 2 days time. Okay, now so a little disclaimer, I'm not the biggest GX guy. Now, original Duel Monsters, Duelist Kingdom, and Battle City, that is my jam. That was what I watched on morning cartoons growing up as a kid. Now, here in Australia, we did get YuGiOh GX on TV, so I did catch the early beginnings of GX. Like, I remember Duel Academy, I remember the different dorms, I remember seeing Jaden use the elemental heroes, using the equip spells, like Spark Blaster on Sparkman. Of course, I did catch the early fusions, like Flame Wingman, things like that. But basically, that's where my knowledge of GX kind of ends. I'm not sure if they stopped showing it on TV, but that's where my knowledge ends. So, things like yubel, Sacred Beast, Supreme King, like no idea. So that being the case, the night before we went to the cafe, my wife and I watched like a recap of GX on YouTube. You know, just to try to prepare ourselves better and to appreciate better the cafe and what we were about to see. Now my wife's the same. Duel Monsters is the only thing she's seen. I made her watch the entire series with me about 2 years ago, but she was a bit worse than me because she's got no clue what GX is. She doesn't know who Jaden is. She doesn't know anything about elemental heroes, things like that. But after we finished watching that kind of YouTube recap, I gotta say, man, GX looked like a wild time. There were so many crazy things that happened. But then finally it was time. The next day was our reservation. So around lunchtime, we started heading to the cafe, and when we got there was already a little bit of a line forming. So the way they did it was they organized it in batches. So people were let in and out based on their time slot, and we had the 2 p.m. time slot. And once you were in, you had 1 hour. 1 hour to do everything. So 1 hour to order your food, 1 hour to eat your meal, 1 hour to enjoy the whole cafe in all its glory. So eventually the previous group finished up, they reset everything, and then we were welcomed in. Inside it was actually pretty small. I think there was a total of 12 seats, and my wife and I were given seat 10 and 11. So each seat was assigned a character. So I got the Jaden seat, to the right of me was the Chaz seat, and my wife got the Zane seat. So giving a quick look and overview of the inside of the cafe, up the top were like some hand-drawn messages and sketches left by some previous visitors. And of course there were these amazing artworks around the entire cafe. So ordering food was basically checking this menu they gave you and then marking down what you wanted on this list. So in terms of the menu, the same with some of the other collaboration places I've been to, they were doing like 2 different promotional periods. So depending on which period you attended the cafe, you got to pick from different menu items. So we were there during the first period, so all of the gold menu items were available, and we couldn't pick from any of the red menu items, which was the second period. But there were also some gray menu items here that could be ordered during both times, no matter what. Of course, the entire menu was in Japanese, so I pulled out my phone, pulled up Google Translate, and then went to town trying to decide what to order. order. So for the food items here, the gray food items which were available on both periods were a bunch of burgers pretty much. So you had like an egg burger, this looks like a prawn tempura burger, yakisoba burger. And so here were the actual exclusive collaboration period food items. So like I said before, the gold items on the left were the ones that we could order during the first period, and the red ones on the right were the ones only available during the second period. So we couldn't order any of the red things, we could only order stuff from the left. So we had the choice of a Jaden kind of pasta, the Teenage Gotcha Tora pasta, which was a prawn pasta, and then like a Cirrus vs Bastion kind of chicken dish. So this one was the spicy option. So they were 1,430 yen each, which is about $14 Australian. So not bad for like kind of a main meal. And then next up we had the dessert menu. So the gray items for the dessert menu was an Ojama Black and Ojama White ice cream sundae. The red desserts were like this Neo-Spatian pudding sort of thing. And then on the bottom was like this tiramisu dessert, and it came with a postcard or something if you got that one. But the gold desserts, the ones that we could order, was this obelisk blue themed panna cotta. That's the one on the top. And then on the bottom there was like this like banana bread sort of thing. And you got like a little shikishi with it as well. And then moving on to the drinks menu, in my opinion, the drinks was where the best stuff was. Here was where the best themed kind of drinks were. Each drink was 750 yen, which is about $7.50 Australian. But just going through it here, we got some awesome drinks. So starting on the top left, we have an Elemental Hero Neo's strawberry syrup yogurt drink. Next to that, we've got the Ojama King Black Sesame Milk. Next to that was the Cyber N Dragon Soda. Then the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon Cola. We have the Cyber Blader Cranberry Juice next to that. On the second row, this was called the Jumbo Drill Cafe Latte. So it's like a Drillroid theme thing, I think. After that, we've got an Ultimate Tyranno Black Tea. Next to that was the Water Dragon Mojito Syrup. This is a non-alcoholic mojito. Next to that, according to Google Translate, was the Maiden in Love Latte. And then the last one here on the second row was the Ancient Gear Golem Soda with Black Lemon Jelly. The last row of drinks we have here was the Destiny Hero Fruity Soda, the Rainbow Dragon Lemonade. I'm not sure this third one, it says Fossil Knight Skull King Soy Milk. So I'm not sure about that one. The second last one is the Volcanic Devil Blackcurrant Oolong Tea. And then the last one, I'm not sure either. I'm not sure which character this is supposed to be. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments what theme this last drink is. And then finally on the bottom, if you were a coffee drinker, you could order a latte with a YuGiOh GX latte art on top. So you could literally get a picture of Jaden, Chaz, Yubel, Supreme King on there. So those are the drinks, and in my opinion, they knocked the drinks out of the park. Like the themed collaborations, the fusions, just so cool. Like who doesn't want a Cyber and Dragon soda? So the rest of the menu was basically all merch, and there was a lot of merch. But we won't go through that yet, I'll save that for later in the video. But there was a lot of free merch. So I think they called these like novelty items, but basically with each drink, with each food item, and with each dessert item you purchased, you got a free mystery novelty item. So the novelty items also changed depending on which period you attended the cafe. So if you came during the first period, you got a random item from a pool of specific artworks. And of course, if you came during the second period, you got a random item from a second pool of artworks. So for our coasters, I'm not sure if this was random or not, but I got the Jaden coaster and my wife got the Zane coaster. Now, if you remember, I was sitting in the Jaden seat and my wife was sitting in the Zane seat. So maybe these coasters aren't so random. In terms of the drink, I got the Cyber N Dragon soda, of course. And I picked the Ojama Black sundae. Now my wife, she got the Ojama White sundae. So yeah, the desserts came out with the drinks first. Now I only realized after the fact that the reason they did this was because the desserts are rock solid. So you're supposed to let them sit there and defrost a bit until the end of the meal. But we tried to eat them early on and it was not happening. And my wife loves spicy food, so she ended up getting the spicy option. The Cyrus versus Bastion kind of spicy chicken dish here. And then I got the Jaden pasta. So this was like a Jaden prawn pasta. And honestly, the meals were pretty good for like a collaboration cafe. They were decent for the price as well. Now in terms of the price, everything was a little bit more expensive than what you would expect to pay like outside of a collaboration cafe, but you know, it's to be expected. This is something a little bit more special, so you're gonna pay a little bit extra. It's basically a quick little blurry time lapse of me at the cafe getting my main meal and everything like that. And yeah, like I said, the pasta was actually decent. It wasn't bad. The sundae was delicious and the Cyber and Dragon soda was great as well, so no complaints there. So like I mentioned before, with each main meal and with each dessert, you got a free novelty item. And the novelty item was basically a random small art print / postcard. So the ones we got were Jaden and Jesse, we got Zane, we got Jaden and the Chaz, and then we got Jesse on his own. And then so here we are. Like I said, the rest of the menu was just merch items like crazy. So starting off with the novelty menu. So this was basically the pool of random art prints you could get with each food item and each dessert item. And then on the bottom there you can see the random pool of coasters you could have gotten as well. On the left here was the ones on the second collaboration period. So there were some pretty cool ones in the second collab period. The Supreme King one and then the Yubel and Jaden one particularly were pretty cool to me. And then after this was just pages and pages of more merch, more merch. Now they did have a display when you exited the cafe of all of the actual merch physically in person. So I'm going to show you guys that at the end of the video. But basically on the last page of the menu, there was one last little like shtick they had going on. So if you spent more than 5,000 yen in total on your meal, so basically 50 Australian dollars, you could pick from a free larger art print. So this one was a little bit larger in size, but it's still around like A5 size. And these were the same art designs as the ones that were on the walls of the cafe, which were really, really beautiful. And then here was my wife and I's contribution to the kind of drawing / sketch frames thing. So I tried to draw Jaden. It was absolutely horrible. I'm not an artist, guys, at all. My wife did the Supreme King. She did better than me, but we left a little message, hello from Australia, and my little tag there for YouTube, in case by chance anyone there was going to check it out. Putting the finishing touches on our masterpieces here before we hang them up. But yeah, looking at some of the ones that were already up there, like my god, it puts our ones to epic shame. Like some of the ones up here were pieces of art, man. People are so talented. And so here were the larger art prints I was telling you guys about, and these things were amazing. Like in person, they looked incredible. The detail in them was epic, and I just love the whole theme, the cleanness to it, the whole artwork. It was crazy. So there's Jaden and Jesse, but I guess he's called Johan in Japan, and then there's Supreme King on the left there. But yeah, I mentioned earlier in the video that there was a 1 hour time limit to get everything done. Basically, we were done in about, I don't know, 45 minutes. And looking around, a lot of the other people there were honestly done earlier than us and have done around the 45-minute mark as well. But no one wanted to leave. Everyone wanted to stay for the full hour just to kind of maximize the full experience of the GX 20th anniversary cafe. But yeah, basically everyone in the cafe sat there for an extra 15 minutes just absorbing everything. My wife and I were actually the first ones to get up to leave, and then basically as soon as we got up, like everyone else got up as well. Alright, so merch time. The first piece of merch here were these mini acrylics, and they had heaps of them. So they were like these little chibi style acrylics. So we had Jaden, the Chaz, Zane, Yubel, Supreme King. So there were 16 different mini acrylics, 750 yen each, $7.50. On the back here we had like these sticker packs, we had pins, there was like a laptop sleeve. These things were keychains. So they were student ID style acrylic keychains. So it had a slot there where you could slide your own student photo for the Duel Academy, I guess. And then there was ones for all the characters as well. Jaden, Supreme King, the Chaz. So here were some bigger acrylics. It had a larger acrylics. So I spoke about it before. Japan loves their acrylics. So they had no short of them here. These were 20 bucks each. Honestly, not bad in terms of pricing for the acrylics I've seen around, but cool pieces of art here. On the left here were some really popular pieces of merch I saw as well. So they had these everywhere, like not the Yu-Gi-Oh ones, but they had different anime ones everywhere. These were basically what they called hotel style tag keychains. So the idea behind these is when you used to check into hotels, the keys they gave you used to come with like this tag, this keychain like this. So these were supposed to resemble that, but Yu-Gi-Oh themed. So there was Jaden ones, Yubel ones, Supreme King, and in 2 different styles. And these weren't bad. These were 690 yen each, $7 each. On the back wall here, we had more button badges. These are also super popular. And yeah, so that was the entire merch lineup for the YuGiOh GX 20th anniversary cafe. And then here are the rest of the large art prints I was telling you guys about that was around the cafe, and just in person, I'm not sure if it's coming through on camera, but in person, these things were incredible. They looked so good. I love the art style. The illustration was just amazing, and I wish we could have taken some of those home. Honestly, a pretty good lineup of merch. The only thing that was missing, honestly, was a Yu-Gi-Oh card. If they had some kind of special collaboration Yu-Gi-Oh card, that would have just knocked it out of the park. But unfortunately, there was no actual card, but the merch lineup was great regardless. So that was that. We turned around, took one last look at the cafe. And then that was it. We did end up spending more than 5,000 yen, so I did get to pick from one of the larger art prints, and I picked the yubel here. This one, in my opinion, was the best one, so it was a no-brainer. I had to go with the yubel one. But yeah, I can actually show you guys some of the stuff we got in a bit more detail now. Now, I did actually buy one of those sticker packs that I showed at the end there, but when we were exiting the cafe, it was actually so busy that I think they forgot to give us the sticker pack that we bought. We walked out of there and kind of forgot as well. So RIP to like the $10 sticker pack that I should have gotten, but this is what I came home with. So first off are the coasters. So this is the Zane coaster, and then this is the Jaden coaster that we got when we were eating there. So we didn't use them because they were, to me, they were too nice to actually use and put our drinks on there, but I want to take them home. This is the Jaden and Zane coaster. Pretty cool. They're just basic cardboard coasters. Next are the 4 random prints we got. So you guys already saw these. Now they're definitely a small size. So this was an A6 protector, and so I'm guessing they're B6 size. That's got to be. So this is the Zane one. Now tell me, is this Zane? Because in some things Zane's got green hair, but right here he's got brown hair. Was there a period where like he dyed his hair or something? Someone let me know in the comments what happened to Zane. Is this Zane? And if so, what happened to his hair? I'll try to give you guys a close-up. I'm not sure if it comes through on camera, but the illustration and the art is just crazy. The quality is amazing, and like I said, I love the art style, the theme. But that's the Zane one. Next we have Jesse, or Johan as he's called in Japan, I think, but that's the Jesse one. Pretty cool. Next we have the Chaz and Jaden. This one was nice, the kind of collab ones. So the Chaz and Jaden, and then the last one we got was the Jaden and Jesse one. So this one was very nice as well. And yeah, so like I mentioned, these were random. You couldn't pick from these, but I think we did pretty well based on the ones you could have gotten. I think we did pretty decent. But thankfully, like I mentioned, if you spent more than 5,000 yen, you got to pick. You actually got to choose a free print from the selection that they had there. And thank God they had that, because I wanted this yubel print so badly. So this one is actually a bit bigger than the others. So this is B6. I think this one is B5 size. So it is a bigger print, and it's basically a smaller version of the giant one that was on the wall during the cafe. And this one is just amazing, guys. I absolutely love this thing. But yeah, just look at this thing, guys. Like, the quality is unreal, and just the theme, the artwork, YuGiOh Duel Monsters GX 20th Anniversary Cafe, just so cool. I think this thing is amazing. The detail on this thing, the quality, I know I sound like a broken record, but just look at it. Just amazing. I love it. This is honestly one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh artwork things I've seen, so super glad to have this. Now the only thing that kills it for me is like, why did they have to put this here, not for sale? Like, so unnecessary. Now I might actually do a giveaway on these things, so I don't think I'm going to be using all of them. So if you made it this far in the video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite piece of merch was from the whole collab, and I'll pick a winner. You can pick from one of these 4. You can pick any one of these kind of art prints you want, and depending on where you live, if it's feasible, I will ship you one of these artworks. But yeah, that was it, guys. That was the YuGiOh Duel Monsters GX 20th Anniversary Cafe. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite drink was. I'm curious to hear what everyone's favorite drink was, because like I said, I think they did a great job on the drinks, and there was basically something for everyone. So I'm definitely going to be framing this thing up, maybe putting it on the wall somewhere here. It is pretty small, but I think it'll do really nice, or maybe even on the left here. So I have started filling out the background here. So I did put up this little shelf. We've got some graded cards up there, a little display, but yeah, this yubel print is definitely going up on the wall behind me somewhere. But yeah, guys, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've got a ton of things planned for 2025. I'm honestly so excited to show you guys. I hope everyone had a great holidays and New Year, and I'll see you guys in the next one.